Hi folks, my name is Lazarus from Granite Plus, and today we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of stone and picking out stone. The pros and the cons of picking out stone. What we have right here is a slab. We call it a slab in our industry because it's one large slice of stone and one big slab of granite. This stone is black forest. Black forest has many different movements. As you can see, there's big large movements, and then over in this area you got like little small veining. This is a beautiful piece of stone, beautiful movement with the veins. That's one of the pros of the stone, that it's actually very beautiful. There's a lot of unique movements in the stone, but one of the cons, believe it or not, would be because it has so much movement, and you have larger veins here, as you can see, smaller veins here. When Granite Plus sometimes suggests to the customer, our clients, we sometimes suggest if let's say your kitchen is very large, we're going to suggest to possibly buy 2 slabs or 2 pieces like this, so that when we come to, let's say, an angle and we're doing a seam, this is where the cons come in. The con would be that if we don't have enough material to mesh everything together or seam it together properly, because angles are taking up space. Sometimes people have hexagon shapes in the corners. Well, that takes up more space, which means this 65 or let's say 60 square foot slab would really only yield out about 40 square feet, right? So here we would chop this up, let's say right down the middle, right? This is going for the island. This part is going to be for a lot of your L shapes and small little pieces that are next to the refrigerator. Well, we have large veins on this side and very skinny veins on this side. So when we go to match these up, or let's say seam them together, that's where the cons are going to come in. You're not going to like these skinny veins matching up with these large veins, and you have this huge movement on one end of your seam and small movements with a lot of open space, let's say open black spaces. And so when they come together and you actually butt them up together, you're going to see that difference. Highly suggested that we go with 2 slabs so we can do proper vein matching. Every manufacturer or every fabricator is going to suggest this if it is something that you really are adamant about. Not everyone's adamant about these veins matching up properly or looking like the grand scheme of the slab, right? When you walk in, you're walking in and you're seeing this beautiful picture in front of you, and this is what you fall in love with right away. The problem is once we start fabricating it on our machines, it gets cut down to 25-inch strips and just small squares, long rectangles, round shapes and stuff like that. All of a sudden, this beautiful picture is still beautiful, but it is piece by piece now. And you can't see it all together anymore. It'd be like taking a family picture and removing the son, the daughter, the mother, the father, and remove them all separately and going, this is our family picture. But people are not seeing it together. They're seeing now all the people separate. And yes, everyone looks beautiful, but it looks way more beautiful as a family picture. Well, consider this to be your family picture, and when we go to cut it up, it's broken up in pieces everywhere. So we got to make it look as beautiful as possible and as much of the grand picture that you picked out in the beginning. And the only way to do that sometimes, if we have identical pieces like this one that can match up. So in a bundle of slabs, typically you get 14 slices of this material. That would consider a bundle. Typically, when you are cutting this out of the mountain, they're coming out in big blocks. That big block will produce about 28 to 30 sheets, just like this. Each one, let's say this vein, will maybe go higher up, depending on how it was playing in the mountain. Maybe an imperfection, if there was one, let's say a round white circle right here, that circle might get bigger as it goes further into this large block of stone, or it might even get smaller, depending on where that big, large, round circles starting. So everything changes, and that's why we want to make sure we got the same lot numbers so that when you go to do book matching, we're book matching the piece that was basically butterflied with this one. At one point, they were facing each other, and then it got sliced, filled up with mesh and fiberglass on the back. You might notice that this one is slightly, has a dull look perhaps, or maybe more of a dry look versus a shiny look. It is a dark stone, so darker stones tend to be more dense, meaning there's less issues that you will have long-term with staining and things getting into the stone. But going back, that is, again, the pros and the cons. I probably left out a lot of things. I can sit here until the cows come, talking about stone and what are the pros and the cons. Make sure you pick out a stone that you love. So make sure that you love it. Sometimes maybe a less movement. So there are some pros and some cons to buying 2 slabs if you only really need one, but you want to make those veins really match up and just have this peace of mind that everything's going to look exactly the way we're looking at it right here. It's just going to be a little bit split up. For more information, contact us. Granite Plus, USA.com is our website. You can call us directly at 262-641-7587.